So next topic is Taenia Solium. So this is the structure of the Taenia Solium, which is highly segmented. So this part is called scolex. This is neck. Okay, and these are segments which are called as proglottids. So the anterior less developed proglottids are called immature proglottids. So middle proglottids, which in which the reproductive systems are well developed, they are called mature proglottids, and the posterior proglottids are called gravid proglottids, in which the reproductive systems are diminished or disappeared. Only uterus, highly branched uterus with developing embryos or zygotes are present. Okay, and the body is divisible into three parts: scolex, neck, and this total part is strobila. Strobila has immature proglottids, mature proglottids, and gravid proglottids. Yeah, common name of Taenia Solium is pork tapeworm. Pork means pig meat. Okay, so as it is transmitted to humans by pig meat. Anyway, it is commonly seen in India and Germany. As Islamic people, they don't consume the pork, so it is not seen in Islamic countries. Anyway, it leaves an endoparasite in the small intestine of man. So its larva lives in the skeletal muscle of pig. Okay, so it is a thin ribbon-like animal. So as it is a flatworm, so adult grows up to 1.5 to 8 meters, which is very long. It is white or pale yellow in color. Body has three parts. Yeah. So just now I told you scolex, neck, and strobila. So what you are watching is the scolex. So just like a head, but not true head. Okay. So here it looks like a head of a pin. Yeah, this part is neck. So here if you observe the scolex, the anterior part of the scolex is slightly elevated. That part is called rostellum. Okay, which contains two rows of hooks, which are chitin-made structures. Okay, you can see the hooks. Okay, so below the rostellum, four powerful muscular suckers are present. Both, hooks and suckers, their adhesive attachment hold fast organs. Okay, so this is the TS of the this what we call the scolex. Okay, so the outer hooks are larger in size, inner hooks are smaller in size. They are arranged like a flower shape. Anyway, that is about the scolex. And the second part of the body is, so after scolex, neck is present, which is behind the scolex. It is a narrow part without segments. So, but it is an important part by an asexual process called strobilization. Okay, a kind of division, binary division. So strobilization, new segments are formed from here, from the neck. Okay, so these segments are called proglottids. Okay, newly formed segments are called proglottids. So the segmentation in the Taenia Solium is not true segmentation, that is pseudo segmentation. Okay, so it is called pseudo metamerism. Okay, so because all the segments are not, homogeneous, they are different. Okay, so third part of the body is strobila, so which we have seen. Once again, let's see. So this is scolex. This part is neck without, segments, and the remaining part is strobila. Okay, so strobila has mature proglottids, and gravid proglottids. See, uh, yeah, the total progress presented behind the neck is called strobila. Each segment is called a proglottid, and strobila is very long part of taenia. So about 800 to 1000 proglottids are present in Taenia Solium. Okay, each proglottid is an independent part. Okay, so with both sexual reproductive system and nerve cords, excretory ducts are present. Based on sexual maturity, proglottids are three types: immature, mature, gravid proglottids. So immature proglottids are so immediately behind the neck. Okay, so these are up to 200 proglottids. They are wider than the length. Okay, reproductive systems are immature. That's why the name immature proglottids. And mature proglottids are after the immature proglottids, about 400 to 500 proglottids are called mature proglottids. So the anterior parts of these mature anterior proglottids in this region, okay, so they contain developed male reproductive system. Okay, posterior proglottids contain both male and female reproductive systems. They are matured or highly developed. Okay, so they are square shaped. Gravid proglottids. Okay, so this is the terminal part of the strobila. So these are lengthier than the breadth. Uh, in these proglottids, the reproductive systems are diminished and totally filled with the branched uterus with developing zygotes. Okay, ఇందులో reproductive systems ఉండవు. Okay, only developing, highly branched uterus with developing zygotes, that is filled with developing zygotes. So apolysis. So these gravid proglottids, okay, after some development of the zygotes or embryo, so they are detached from the అంటే అవి బాడీ నుంచి సెపరేట్ అవుతాయి అన్నమాట, విడిపోతాయి. సో దట్ ప్రాసెస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ అపోలైసిస్. Every mature proglotid contains genital aperture at the lateral part of the each segment. Okay, so it facilitates the self-fertilization among the proglottids. Okay, body wall, it consists of three parts: tegment, basal membrane, muscles. Okay, epidermis and dermis are absent in this animal. So it loses triploblastic condition in adult stage. In the adult stage, the triploblastic condition is lost due to lack of epidermis. So instead, the tegment is present. So this is the tegment which we have seen already in the fascial hepatica, almost similar. So it is made up of cuticle, contains many microvilli. Okay, and tegment is secreted by the mesenchymal cells, and there are different kinds of muscles. Okay, longitudinal, circular, and longitudinal. Okay, and in addition to dorsoventral muscles are present, vertical muscles are present. Okay, oblique muscles are present in the mesenchyme. So that is the body wall. Yeah, so the tegment protects the animal from post-digestive enzymes. So below the tegment, a basal membrane is present. See, this is the basement membrane or basal membrane. And then musculature, it includes circular, longitudinal. Okay, there are vertical, horizontal, dorsoventral muscles are present in the parenchyma or mesenchyma. Then mesenchyme or parenchyma. So below the body wall, mesenchyma or parenchyma is actually, to be precise. So it is present between the tegment and alimentary canal or digestive canal. So it is filled with parenchyma tissue. That's why it is called mesenchyma or parenchyma. So due to this, the coelom is absent. Parenchyma is mesodermal in origin, a kind of connective tissue. Mesenchymal cells secrete the tegument. So, yeah. So here, parenchyma is divided into outer cortex and inner medulla. Okay, so divided by circular muscles. Okay, flame cells and reproductive organs are present in medulla. Nerve cords, excretory canals present laterally. In the cortex. So parenchyma acts as a hydrostatic skeleton and circulatory system that distributes all the substances to all the organs. The parenchyma distributes. So locomotion. So due to parenchyma muscles, segments are slightly moved. The locomotion generally occurred. So nutrition is called as it lacks mouth and proper digestive canal. So body's surface absorbs digested food. Such kind of nutrition is called saprosaic or osmotropic nutrition. Respiration is simply anaerobic respiration because it is an endoparasite. Excretory system includes four longitudinal excretory canals, two dorsal, two ventrolateral, and flame cells. Okay, so which we have seen already in the fasciola. Ventral canal jointly open out at dorsal tip of last segment by an excretory pore. Right. Yeah, we have seen flame cells. Every excretory canal produces many branches all over the mesenchyme and terminate with many flame cells. Flame cells possess pseudopodia processes so that collect the nitrogenous excretory products. Nervous system. So it includes a pair of nerve ganglia at scolex region. Okay, so which are connected by transverse connective and a nerve ring. Okay, so that ఉంటుంది అంటే సో anterior just like so ఇదొక nerve ganglia, ఇదొక nerve ganglia. So this is transverse connective and this is nerve ring. So like that. So different nerves are produced from the nerve ganglia anteriorly, and from the transverse, connective, almost about 10, nerve cards are arised. So among them, only one pair looks prominent or thicker. The remaining are so they are thinner like this. So anyway, and here from the nerve ganglia, nerve cards, okay, maybe nerves are produced. Okay, yeah, in each segment, these nerve cards are connected below the transfer excretory canal, so that give a ladder like appearance. Okay. సో ఎక్స్క్రిటరీ కెనాల్ కింద సో ఈ నర్వ్ కార్డ్స్ అనేటువంటి అవి ట్రాన్స్వర్స్ నర్వ్ కనెక్టివ్ తో కలపబడి ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి చూడడానికి ఒక నిచ్చెన లాగా కనబడతాయి. ఓకే, సో next, from the nerve ganglia and nerve cards, many nerves are produced. There are no sense organs at all. So reproductive system. So Taenia Solium is an hermaphroditic animal or bisexual animal. In mature proglottids, okay, both reproductive systems are present. Okay, presence of both reproductive system in every proglottid is called proglottidation. So in Taenia Solium, male reproductive system develops first. So that condition is called protandrous. So this is the male reproductive system. So if you observe closely, so there are highly branched ducts are seen. Okay, so in a male reproductive system, testis, vas efferentia, vas deferens, and cirrus. Simple. We have seen it in fasciole also. So these round bodies, which are distributed all over the every segment. So these small rounded bodies, they are testis. So each testis open into a vas efferentia. See, vas efferentia. All the vas efferentia, they are joined in the middle of the segment. So into vas deferens. Vas deferens opens into opens into common genital atrium as cirrus or penis. So it tips the male genital aperture is present. So that is male reproductive system. And in female reproductive system, ovary is present, which is bilobed. So this is one lobe, this is another lobe, the ovary. Okay, so both the lobes are, they are connected by a structure called isthmus. So it is not clear here. So a transverse connective called isthmus that combines these two lobes. Okay, so and here from the isthmus, okay, you can see an oviduct is seen here. Okay, so that joins with the a bulb-like structure, sac-like structure called U-type. Okay, so from the oviduct, okay, so the vagina is arised, and that also opens into genital atrium. Genital atrium lo తెరుచుకుంటది అన్నమాట vagina. So the anterior part of the uh, vagina is slightly, you know, uh, swollen. So that is called seminal receptacle or receptaculum seminis అని కూడా పిలుస్తాం దాన్ని. Okay, so and then surrounding the O-type, many unicellular Mehlis glands are present. Their secretion makes the fertilized eggs, so to move freely into uterus. And here, from the O-type, a vertical duct is produced towards down. So that is called vitelline duct. So that opens into a vitelline gland. A vitelline gland look తెరుచుకుంటది vitelline duct. So vitelline duct produces the vitelline cells. Okay, so these vitelline cells, they nourishes the developing embryo. They also form, a shell, a thin shell around the zygote. Okay, from the place where the O-type female gonoduct and duct and the vitelline duct meets. So there is a vertical elevation called uterus. So it almost reaches up to anterior region. It is a big sac-like structure, so called uterus. Generally, the fertilization takes place in the O-type, and this seminal receptacle, it stores the sperms temporarily after copulation. So that is the male and female reproductive system. See, you can see the parts: testis, vas efferentia, vas deferens. Cirrus is nothing but the a penis. Okay, so many testes are present. They are opened into vas efferens, all the vas efferentia, they open into vas deferens. So vas deferens opens into cirrus sac as cirrus. So that opens into uh, genital pouch. Okay, so there is a genital male genital aperture at the tip of the cirrus or penis. This aperture present on an elevated genital papilla. Male genital aperture అనేది elevated papilla పైన ఉంటుంది. That is genital papilla. So female reproductive system, just now we have seen ovary, which is bilobed. Okay, that is also known as germarium. Okay, so then a female gonoduct. Okay, O-type, Mehalis glands, vitelline gland, vagina, and uterus, which we have already seen. See one pair of ovaries. Okay, O-type, uterus, vagina. Okay, seminal receptacle, and surrounding the O-type, unicellular Mehalis glands are present, and these are the uh, vitelline gland. Okay, so vitelline gland. Vitelline cells that reach to type by vitelline duct. Vitelline cells nourish the embryo. They also secrete a shell around the embryo, which I have already told you. And then from the ootype, a vertically elevated sac arises that is called uterus. In gravid proglatids, uterus is highly branched, filled with developing zygotes or embryo. Copulation, it may be self copulation or self fertilization, cross fertilization or so cross copulation. Generally, cross fertilization occurs. So here, copulation is either uh, self, uh, either between the cirrus of a segment, okay, releases its sperm into same segments, female genital aperture called self-fertilization. Okay, so our cross fertilization means so between the different proglatids of same animal. So that is cross fertilization. Generally, cross fertilization occurs. The received sperms are reached to receptaculum seminis or seminal receptaculum. So via vagina. Okay, so ova released by ovary are reached to ootype. Fertilization occurs in the ootype to form zygote. When zygote is in ootype itself, the vitelline glands secrete vitelline cells. These cells form a smooth, thin shell around the zygote. So now the zygote with the shell is called capsule. Such thousands of capsules with the help of Mehalis gland secretions. So they move into uterus. Okay, uterus form about 7 to 12 pairs of branches. So due to the arrival of these capsules and extend all over the proglatid. The proglatid, so the what we call the uterus uh, is filled. Okay, so this is gravid proglatid. This is completely uterus without any reproductive system. So the reproductive system is completely so diminished or disappeared after fertilization or capsules when reach the uterus. So this is completely filled with the uh, highly branched uterus. Anyway, the gravid proglatids, okay, by a process called apolysis, they detach from the body 1 to 5 at a time. ఒకటి కానీ లేదా ఒకటేసారి ఒక 4-5 gravid proglatids బాడీ నుంచి విడిపోతాయి అన్నమాట. So life cycle. So here, if you observe the cleavage is holoblastic, unequal type. Okay, so first division is unequal. Okay, it produces two types of cells. One is embryonic cell, another one is megamere. And this embryonic cell, it divides again into two cells, okay, to form a medium-sized mesomere. You can see here medium-sized mesomere and smaller micromeres, and of course megamere also divides slowly. Okay, so here This is yolk cell that is attached to, the zygote, so which nourishes. Actually, the total yolk is transferred to megamere and it gradually diminishes and disappears. Okay, so the yolk cell is disappeared. The yolk is given to the megamere. Okay, so now the micromeres which are present inside, okay, they will form a ball of cells called marula. Marulaga micromeres అనేటువంటి form అవుతాయి. Micromeres will form into the embryo or marula. Okay, this is one. And the mesomeres, they form an innermost membrane called embryophore అనే ఒక membrane form చేస్తుంది. Whereas the yaki megamere, they form outer membrane. Okay, outer membrane ని ఈ యొక్క మెగామియర్స్ అనేటువంటి ఫామ్ చేస్తాయి. Okay, so now the inside embryophore, outside outer membrane are present surrounding the developing marula. Okay, so and what is this? This is the egg shell which is produced by the yolk cell even in the uterus itself. సో ఇప్పుడు ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి? ఒక షెల్ ఉంది, ఎంబ్రియోఫోర్ ఉంది, ఓకే, సారీ, మిడిల్ ఎంబ్రియోఫోర్, sorry. Okay, so the megamere forms the eggshell, and these mesomeres, they form the embryophore. Okay, so and a basal membrane is also present. Here you can see a basement membrane. So in that way, three membranes are present surrounding the developing embryo: the inner basement membrane, middle embryophore, and outer shell. Now the marula so divides into many cells, and six or three pairs of hooks are formed at the anterior region of the the embryo. So now the larva is called hexacanth larva. Hexa means six. ఆరు హుక్స్ ఉన్నటువంటి లార్వాను మనం హెక్సాకాంత్ లార్వా అని పిలుస్తాం. So now whenever the shell is formed, okay, the embryo is generally called as capsule. Okay, so whenever six hooks are formed, the embryo is called hexacanth. Okay, so the hexacanth with these three membranes is called anchosphere, and these membranes are anchospheral membranes into the inner basement membrane, middle embryophore, outer shell. Okay, so that is the early development. So here it occurs in the human body. It occurs within the gravid proglottid. So after apolysis. Okay, so then yeah, you can see in the uterus cleavage starts. It is holoblastic unequal type. First division is unequal to produce megamere and one small embryonic cell. Embryonic cell divides many times, produces a bunch of cells having larger mesomeres and many smaller micromeres. Okay, embryonic cell రెండు cells ని produce చేస్తుంది. Okay, mesomeres and micromeres divide and form marula. Okay, so which is surrounded by inner envelope of mesomeres and an outer envelope of megameres. So you can call it as smooth shell. Future. Okay, so yolk cells transfer their yolk to megameres and disappear. Megameres form outer syncytial nutritive membrane of the embryo that is converted to shell later. It nourishes the embryo and disappears. Mesomere form thick cuticle made radially striated shell. Sorry, not mesomere, megamere. megamere form thick cuticle made readily striated shell called sorry, it's not shell. Mesomere form the inner embryophore or inner embryo around the morula. Beneath the embryophore, basement membrane is present. So, from morula, hexacanth larva is formed with 6 spines or hooks. Okay, so hexacanth with capsule is called ancosphere. Okay, so now the larva contains the, so inside this is larva and the basement membrane, and then this is embryophore, and this is highly striated, radially striated like this. Okay, so this is shell, which is formed by the Yawkey megameres. Okay, so now this hexacanth with what we call the hexacanth with 3 layers is called ancosphere. Ancosphere is the infective stage to pig. So strobila having angospheres come out from the man by feces. If pig consume that feces, ancosphere reach pig alimentary canal. So the capsule is dissolved due to the action of the digestive juices of the pig. So now the free hexacanth is released into the intestine or stomach. So finally, and then this hexacanth enters into blood vessels. Then it finally reaches the skeletal muscles like tongue. Okay, so heart, then appendage muscles, etc. So it loses hooks. Okay, hexacanth loses hooks, and penetration glands are also lost. So embryo size is increased. So the embryo is filled with the fluid and forms a cyst around itself. Okay, so it lost its hooks. So and it is filled with fluid. So like it looks like a bladder now, and then an invagination takes place. Okay, in the in the skeletal muscle of the pig, invagination అనేది జరగడం వల్ల, okay, so the anterior part moves into the bladder. Okay, so this stage is generally called as bladder wart or cysticercus larvae. దీన్నే మనం cysticercus larva అని పిలుస్తాం. Okay, so here you can see J and K. So these are the cysticercus larvae filled with fluid, or it is also known as bladder worm, cysticercus or bladder worm. Anyway, now after invagination, the proscolex, that means 4 suckers and rostellum is formed at the tip of the invaginated part. Okay, so okay, so yeah, after invagination, it is called as cysticercus larva. So another layer is formed around the cysticercus larva. So that is made up of cuticle. So now cysticercus larva or bladder worm appears or forms spots or patches in the pork muscle. Okay, so that meat, okay, ఆ పంది మాంసాన్ని మచ్చల పంది మాంసం లేదా మిజిలి పోర్క్ అని పిలుస్తాం. Now this stage with a cuticle layer cysticercus larva is called cysticercus cellulose. Okay, cysticercus cellulose. So after cysticercus cellulose formation, invagination occurs. The invaginated part is formed as a proscolex with four suckers, small rostella, and small hooks. Okay, the cysticercus larva or cysticercus cellulose larva is the infective stage to man. So it can, if the man is not available, it can wait up to 6 years in the pig mother. So now, if a man consumes a measly fork, okay, so atla matsalapan mamsani, if at all any man consumes without proper cooking, the cysticercus uh, cellulose larva enter into human stomach. So due to the action of the HCl, all the coverings of cysticercus cellulose larva are dissolved. Okay. So now evagination takes place. So human బాడీలో ఇదన్నమాట. సో ఇట్లా ఉన్నటువంటి ప్రోస్కోలెక్స్ అది ఎవాజినేషన్ జరిగి ఓకే సో ద స్కోలెక్స్ కమ్స్ అప్. Okay, so to form a scolex with four suckers, rostellum and hooks and all. So now larva attaches to intestinal wall with hooks and suckers. Okay, human being యొక్క intestinal walls ki hooks and suckers దాంతో attach అవుతాయి. From the neck, due to stabilization, segments are formed. Okay, so మెడ నుండి here you can see the neck region is formed after evagination. So from it, new segments are gradually formed called strobilization. So in 60 to 90 days, it becomes adult in the human intestine. Disease, the cause of disease in human being is teniasis. Okay, so due to teniasis, indigestion, stomach pain, vomiting occurs. Ulcers are occur to intestine. So ancospheres, they cause another disease called cysticercosis. So treatment is carbon tetrachloride, hexachloroethane, arcolin, mecaprin. Okay, like drugs are generally used to treat it. And then control. Generally, we should avoid the eating measly pork. And also pork is properly cooked. Hygienic conditions are to be maintained. So that is about the Taenia Solium. And next, another small parasite is Echino Coccus granulosus. Echino Coccus granulosus is it is also cystode parasite. It looks like exactly, it is a miniature of the Taenia Solium. Okay, so if you observe its body, it also contains scolex with suckers and hooks and rostellum, and there is a neck and 3 to 4 segments only present. Okay, only 3 to 4 segments are present, in which the immature segments, mature segment, and gravid proglottid. Okay, immature proglottid, mature proglottid, gravid proglottid. The reproductive system is same. Okay, so all the parts are almost similar, but the structure is different. The testes are present all over the segment, and they are joined into vas aphasia. They are ended into vas differentia, and ultimately they are opened outside by cirrus. Okay, so but here the cirrus is on both sides. And again, a pair of ovaries are present. Okay, so here the Weidling glands are present, slightly different from the tinea, and these are the Michaelis glands. So their function is similar here. Okay, this is also hermaphroditic animal, right? So anyway, here Echino Coccus granulosus is called dark tapeworm or hydatid worm. Echino Coccus granulosus may be sometimes dangerous to man. it rarely occurs. So it is a digestive parasite. Primary host is dog. So that's why it is, the Echinococcus granulosus is also known as dog tapeworm. And the intermediate host is maybe man or maybe cattle like goat, sheep, or cow, buffalo, etc. So adult worms, which are called as Taenia Echinococcus, they produce in 100, even 1,000 after copulation. Sorry, adult worms, they live many thousands or hundreds in the intestine of dog, wolf, fox, cat. So which are primary hosts. Mostly they live in dog. Man sometimes serves as an accidental secondary host. So anyway, adult measures about 3 to 6 millimeters. It is made up of scolex and 3 to 4 proglottids only. Scolex has 4 suckers, rostellum, and a double row of hooks. Okay, so just like Taenia Solium. Yeah, it is hermaphrodite. It involves a single intermediate host. Eggs escape with feces, just like Taenia Solium, so which contain the ancospheres, so which infect the secondary host, either man or cattle, through the you know mm, food or drink or careless association with the dogs mostly. So due to contamination, the ancospheres may reach to secondary host. So generally, this Echinococcus granulosus, so it causes most harm is done by Cysticercus larva. Same here also Cysticercus larva is present in liver or in lung, and in a few cases in brain also, heart, bone, kidney, spleen, muscle, etc. The larva develops into a watery bladder or bladder worm. So that is called hydatid vesicle. Okay, so because it contains the water, a bladder with water, so that is called hydatid vesicle, or you can also call it as hydatid cyst. So, which is surrounded by two layered cyst wall. Okay, so the cyst produces by asexual budding, exogenous and endogenous buds. Okay, so containing brood chambers. Okay, and many internal solices. Solices means scolexes. Okay, it's plural of scolex. So a cyst locula, okay, many brood chambers and many internal scolexes అనేటువంటివి ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది. A hydatid cyst may grow up to football size in 12 to 20 years in man and requires definitely a surgery. So dogs acquire infection when they feed upon, slaughtered bodies of infected secondary hosts like cattle. Cattle ని మనం సో సమ్టైమ్స్ స్లాటర్ చేసి బయట పడేసినప్పుడు ఆ మీట్ని ఆ డాగ్ తింటే డాగ్స్ కి ఇన్ఫెక్ట్ అవ్వడం అనేది జరుగుతుంది. సో లార్జ్ హైడాటిటిస్ సిస్ట్ కాజ్ ఇన్ఫ్లమేషన్, డయేరియా, abdominal pains, vomiting, eosinophilia. So this is also an intestinal parasite in the dog. So presence of cysts in brain, eye, kidney, that may cause death also sometimes. So control. Brood capsules and scoliosis can be killed by injecting formalin solution into the cyst. The removal of adult from the dog's intestine can be affected by areclin hydrobromide. So that is about the Echinococcus granulosus. And then parasitic adaptations. What is an adaptation? Adaptation is the fitness of an organism to its environment. Okay, so parasites, they acquire many adaptations. అవి ఎండోపారసైట్ ఆర్ ఎక్టోపారసైట్ ఏదైనా కావచ్చు. ఆ హోస్ట్ సెల్లో హోస్ట్ బాడీలో ఉన్నప్పుడు దే అక్వైర్ సమ్ యునో adaptations. Okay, so they are very well developed adaptations. So they may be morphological and physiological in nature. So morphological adaptation, the body covering. So the body covering contains thick tegument. Okay, so it is frequently provided with scales, or spines, etc. Okay, so that affords suitable protection to the parasite. Tegument అనేది బాగా ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ కంటిన్యూల్లీ రిన్యూడ్. అది అంటే డ్యూ టు రెగ్యులర్ ఎక్స్పోజర్ టు పోస్ట్ బాడీ టిష్యూస్. ఓకే, సో it is diminished and renewed frequently. So many organs of adhesions, like we have seen suckers, hooks, and spines are present. Okay, they also protect they are helpful for attachment. They are also helpful for protection. The organs of locomotion. Okay, so parasites generally they are mostly endoparasites. Okay, so in platyhelminthes, only in free living organisms, the cilia like locomotory organelles are present, but for you know uh, they are absent in the parasites. Locomotory organs are absent only in free living helminths. The cilia are present. Okay, and also free living parasitic larvae like Miracidium also possess, because they are out of the host body. Then organs of nutrition. Okay, so generally most of the you know mm, what we call the helminth parasites, they don't need the digestive system, okay, or mouth like organs, because they absorb through their body surface the completely digested food or semi digested food. So organs for nutrition are thus not needed for most of the parasites. Trematodes have an incomplete gut, and in most cases a suctorial pharynx for sucking the food or blood. So helps. Okay, then aversible pharynx present in free living turbellarians. Okay, so this is not needed. In cystodes, parasites freely baths in the you know digested food of host, which is observed directly. There is thus total absence of alimentation in take forms is seen. The neurosensory system. So as parasites, they don't need much stimulus. Okay, so they get sufficient food. Okay, profound reduction of nervous system. Okay, sense organs are also not present. No need for them. Okay, but the free living Miracidium possesses eye spots, a kind of sense organs. So reproductive system, parasitic platforms with a few exceptions like cystosoma are monoecious. That means they're bisexuals. So hermaphroditism is of distinct advantage to the parasite. Why? It ensures copulation even when a few individuals are present. ఓకే, సో అది బైసెక్సెల్స్ ఉండడం వల్ల దానికి ఆపోజిట్ సెక్స్ ఇంకొక యానిమల్ లేకున్నా ఫర్టిలైజేషన్ అనేది కపులేషన్ అనేది జరుగుతుంది. ఓకే, సో and the number of eggs are produced in very high amount. Okay, so that is the advantage of bisexual reproductive system. In cystodes, reproductive system is much more elaborate, and each mature proglotid possesses one or two complete sets of male and female genitalia. Okay, so they contain, you know, uh, male and female reproductive system in a single, not total body. Every segment contains the both the reproductive system and respective genitalia. In a gravid proglotid, all other organs of the system are degenerate. So, in another interesting thing, the gravid proglotid, okay, contains only uterus for the development of the embryo. That is, there is no other system. Okay, so that is also an adaptation. In physiological adaptations, so protective mechanism. Okay, alimentary canal parasites, so shave to protect. Sorry, it is not serve. Serve to protect themselves from the action of digestive juices of host. Okay, tapeworm accomplish this by stimulating walls of gut to secrete mucus. Okay, which then forms a protective clothing around the parasite. Okay, so general the tapeworms అనేవి పోస్ట్ అలిమెంటరీ కెనాల్ ని స్టిమ్యులేట్ చేసి దాని నుంచి మ్యూకస్ రిలీజ్ అయ్యేటట్టు చేసి వాటి చుట్టూ ఒక కోట్ లాగా ఫామ్ చేసుకుంటాయి మ్యూకస్ ని. So that protect their body. And by secreting anti-enzymes to neutralize the digestive enzymes of the host. Okay, ఇవి యాంటీ ఎంజైమ్స్ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేసి host enzymes ని న్యూట్రలైజ్ చేస్తాయి. By probably continually renewing their protective body covering, the tegment ని కంటిన్యూస్ గా రిన్యూ చేస్తూ ఉంటాయి. anaerobic respiration, okay, because అవి ఉండే ప్లేస్ లో ఆక్సిజన్ ఉండదు కాబట్టి సింప్లీ దే అండర్గో anaerobic respiration. సో వాటికి ఆక్సిజన్ ప్రాబ్లం తీరిపోతుంది. ఆస్మో రెగ్యులేషన్. So osmotic pressure of endoparasites body fluids, especially in case of trematodes, is almost the same as the host. This makes osmoregulation is unnecessary. అప్పుడు దానికి స్పెషల్గా ఎఫర్ట్ పెట్టాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, రెండిటి కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ సేమ్ ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి. బట్ ఇన్ ఇంటెస్టైనల్ టేఫార్మ్స్ ఆస్మాటిక్ ప్రెషర్ ఈజ్ లిటిల్ హయ్యర్. ఓకే, దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, దిస్ పర్మిట్స్ రెడీ అబ్సార్ప్షన్. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, హోస్ట్ డైజెస్టివ్ ఫుడ్ ఆటోమేటిక్గా పారాసైట్ బాడీలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. అండ్ మనకు తెలుసు the parasites, they exhibit high fertility rate. They produce numerous number of sperms, numerous number of eggs. ఎందుకంటే అవి ఉండే ప్లేసెస్, అవి పాస్ అయ్యే రీజియన్స్. ఓకే, సో దెర్ ఈస్ వెరీ వెరీ లెస్ సర్వైవల్ రేట్. సో that's why thousands of millions of eggs and sperms are produced. At least one or two can be survived, and its next generation is continued. So that is highly developed reproductive system is present. Okay, they produce eggs in millions. Okay, so and many polyembryony. Okay, polyembryony is also seen. And oka larva ni, you know, like sporocyst, it produces many redia. Okay, sometimes secondary sporocysts are formed. From secondary sporocysts, many redia are formed. From in another parasite, one redia produces many secondary redia. From secondary redia, many cercaria are produced. That is also, highly advanced feature. Okay, so that many offsprings are produced. Okay. Yeah, so several cercaria develop from, so fluke and single hexacantha for Echino Coccus produces several scolices, each of which is a potential tapeworm. Okay, Echino Coccus అనేది చాలా స్కోలెక్సెస్ ని ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తుంది, స్కోలిసెస్. ఓకే, అది ఒక్కొక్కటి ఒక్కొక్క పొటెన్షియల్ టేప్వామ్ తో సమానము. సో దీస్ ఆర్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ది parasitic adaptations. With that, the platyhelminth is completed.